Hannah and Cailin, back again with Double Talk. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Cailin.
At only 14 years old, Leanne Fan has been named America's top young scientist for an innovation that at first sounds too good to be true, a pair of headphones that detect and treat ear infections. The San Diego teen was named the 2022 winner of the 3M Young Scientist Challenge for creating Finsen Headphones, an antibiotic-free, low-cost option to detect and treat mid-ear infections using machine learning and blue light therapy. In addition to earning the title of America's top young scientist, Leanne was awarded $25,000, which she plans to use to further conduct research and begin the patent process. Listen in as we chat with Leanne about her inspiration behind the headphones, how they work, and what she plans to do next.
Leanne, you created headphones that when you put them in, they can detect and then actually treat ear infections. Tell us where the idea for this product came to be.
So my mom originally always got ear infections, and then so did I when I was a baby. So I was thinking that we needed a solution to this because normally the solution is to take antibiotics, but antibiotics have their own side effects. And also detection and treatment may be too expensive for some people. So I wanted to find like a low cost solution that could both detect and treat.
And it's good too because people talk a lot about antibiotic resistance. So if you put headphones on, you don't have to worry about that at all. So just yet another thing not to have to worry about, which is amazing. And it's, a lot of people have big ideas, and they just don't know what to do next, right? You come up with a great idea, but then what do you do? So when you came up with this idea for these headphones, what was the first thing you did to make it a reality?
My headphones actually didn't start as headphones. I first used a blue light to kill bacteria. And then from there, I evolved into blue light and headphones, or actually earmuffs, to kill bacteria on the eardrum. And then from there, I finally added detection. So it's kind of like going up one step at a time. And then throughout that journey, I guess, I did research on how to carry out each of those different parts of the headphones.
The innovation is so amazing. It almost feels too good to be true. And I think a lot of people would have that reaction when they hear about this. Tell us about how it works.
The first thing that happens is you have to detect whether or not you have an ear infection. And then I have a website for that where you can just click start and it'll send a sound into your ear and collect the echo that comes back. And then on the screen, it'll display a few numbers. And then from the numbers, whichever one is bigger, you can know that that's the one that you have. So either mid-ear infection or healthy eardrum. And then for that, after you detect you have an ear infection, you have to move on to the treatment, which is a blue light that's shined into your ear. And then the treatment would be 60 minutes a day for however long it takes for the ear infection to go away.
So does the sound that's sent, is that coming from the headphones or from a smartphone or the computer? How does that work? Does it come with any specific device or do you do it from like a phone or something?
The headphones would be connected with Bluetooth to your device, so any device that can just have the website on, and then it sends the sound through the headphones. My headphones right now cost $70, and then detection and treatment normally costs around $200 or more because you have to go visit the doctor's office and then they detect and you have to come back for like the treatment and stuff. So that takes a while. And then for my headphones, children more often get ear infections. So I would say either these headphones would be a household thing or like one household has one, or they could even be at like a library or a school so that people could check them out and then use them themselves so they wouldn't have to pay.
Yeah, it's really, the fact that it's streamlined is so convenient because if you're like us three right now, we're in New York and, so you think that you have an ear infection, you go get tested, you may or may not have an ear infection. If you do, you get the antibiotic treatment, you might have had to take an Uber to the doctors and then you might have to take another Uber and go back again, if the treatment doesn't work the first time around. So you're really saving a bunch of money through a bunch of different avenues.
It's easier and cheaper because a lot of times people pay more money for the convenience, but this is cheaper and more convenient.
How much do you attribute your science knowledge to actual education in the classroom, and how much of it is you just go home, open a book, and continue your education at home?
So I think I learned a lot about sound waves from 8th grade science class, but right now what I'm doing isn't really in the chemistry side. It's more like making the model and then the AI and using blue light. So the chemistry didn't really like add much to it, but I think normal science class did help a lot.
If you have a certain interest, you need to go and
After it
honestly-
on your own.
Yeah, go after it on your own. And speaking of going after it on your own, what you do is so inspiring because, like we mentioned earlier, so many people, they have these big ideas and you actually went for it. What would you say to somebody else who's, maybe younger or, any age really, who feels like they're maybe too young to go after their dreams? They might have to wait, because you did not do that. You did not wait. So what would you say to someone who needs a little motivation?
I would say don't wait, because I think it's always better to start early. And if you do start early, like I started this project around 6th grade, so it just kept evolving. So if you start early, you can add more and it can get even better and better in the future. And even in the future, I plan to improve it even more. So that's something that's really special if you start early.
What do you plan to do with the money? Because I hear you're putting it back into your work, into the patent.
Yeah, and I also like to do a little bit more research and do some clinical trials and of course get a patent after that.
What's the timeline for getting this product on the market right now?
So the first thing I'd like to do is of course do more trials, and then I'd also like to polish the AI a little bit more because right now I'm only using a ear model and it's not actually using human ear canals. So I think that'd be a big step for me to take. I'm not sure how long that'll take, but we'll see.
Do you have any other big goals for the future? Is there any other idea that you have in mind or an issue that you'd like to address using your skills and talents at some point?
I think a big one we always hear about, of course, is climate change, because it's our world, and then we want to live in it for the next long time. So that's a really big problem that I like to face. And then one that I like to research more on is antibiotic resistance. I'm already like kind of in that field right now, but I find it really interesting.